Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Don't Be a Man About It. Mazen Sakran, a very good friend of mine, and also a business owner of CustomX.
Correct.
CustomX. Thank you so much for being on the show, Mazen.
Thank you, Rahaf. It's a pleasure to be on the show. And honestly, this is the first time I am ever going to be asked about fatherhood. So I don't know how it will go.
You made me laugh so much when you said, Rahaf, no one ever asked me about my fatherhood.
Exactly. So let's see. I don't know what to expect, but I'll be as open as I can.
Well, let's start from asking you, how is your heart doing today?
My heart?
Your heart.
My heart is honestly filled with love. I'm happy. It's just that my body is not doing too well because I'm not getting too much sleep, Rahaf. For example, yesterday I just had literally 2 hours of sleep. So it is something that changes depending, of course, I think on the child that you have and their sleeping patterns. But to answer your question, my heart is doing great. There's a lot to be happy about, a lot to love and to be loved as well. And of course, being a father is one thing that really changed that drastically.
I love that. I love that. I love everything that is revolved around love, because at the end of the day, I believe that when you do things out of love, you can overcome anything that comes your way, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I would remember, like, before being a father, on a day like this, on a Monday, you have a busy week and you just slept 2 hours. I would have probably been, in a bad mood,
Right.
not super excited. Something that naturally in my chemicals, I don't know, but it just gives me the power, the energy to wake up and spend some time with my baby and, go to the office and try to do better than what I did yesterday. And of course, come back to my baby later on. It's just something that I can't explain, and just it pushes me and gives me energy, and I just love it.
So let's start from here. That's a beautiful thing to highlight, because many men say, and they can swear by the change that happens to them from before being fathers to after. There's this some sort of transition or transformation that men go through. So how was that experience for you, before Gigi, after Gigi?
When it comes to, you mean mental health and your energy and the
Everything,
way.
yes, your lifestyle, the way you do things. As Mazen, what has changed for you?
And there's one thing I would like to highlight, Rahaf, and I am no expert at fatherhood, but I'm going to talk from my perspective and
Your
from my
experience,
experience.
100%.
Yeah. But yes, I talked a lot about love, and that's amazing. But I'm also human, and I think just like how mothers are not immune to depression when they're maybe pregnant or when they give birth, I also think, and maybe changing much now, is that men are not immune as well to depression. So I do go through a lot of anxiety, whether it's before or after. Whether you're thinking about the future, thinking about the financials, thinking about the responsibility. For example, from my experience, the first 12 months I was super protective. And I was struggling inside. Like I wanted to not be protective, but my mind was naturally being overprotective. I'm much better now, but that's something I never thought I would be. Like, I remember when I used to see my friends with their kids, I was like, why are you so concerned? Let them fall, let them play, let them, and it was very easy to say it, but when I experienced it, I could not. And one thing I think partners need to work on is to really understand their partner. It's like, if he or she is overprotective, man, just let it be. And it got to my nerves, specifically from people around me in my family and not my partner, where they were always pointing fingers at me. It's like, Mazen, you're too overprotective. I was like, so I am. Let me be. And this is I think the first thing that comes to mind, Rahaf, to me, is like, what changed. I was never overprotective, and whether it was for my life or my siblings or my loved ones, but with my child, it just totally changed.
So you came to learn new things about yourself.
Absolutely.
And let's go back, because yes, women do go through this postpartum depression after they give birth. Did you go through that? Yani, you mentioned something about the anxiety, the things, the behaviors that has changed, but did you go through a parental depression?
Before I answer that question, first of all, I want to show out a lot of love and support to every single woman that goes through this. And 9 months is just something I personally cannot do. So with pregnancy, and I really shout out to every single mom out there that went through it. So much respect, because it's not easy. And to answer your question, Rahaf, I did, obviously. And I'm thinking even before becoming a father, like when my wife was pregnant, I did have a lot of anxiety. Like I was happy, but I was scared. I was excited, but I was not looking forward to it. I was, enthusiastic about becoming a father, and because I naturally love kids. But once it hit me, I was like, oh, what's going to change in my life? What do I need to be now? More responsibilities, more commitment, more, just being the right person. And I am very natural. I mean, you know me on a personal level. I like to live my life naturally, whether it's at work or, but this is one of the most things that made me think a lot. And that was obviously a type of depression or anxiety. You would know better, but it just made me think a lot, and it made me sometimes be a bit distant, if you want, within my family circle. But after my wife gave birth, and of course Gigi came to this life, a lot of things changed, and it just turned into more happiness. Obviously, there's still the anxiety, there's still the thinking, but you know what? I look at it within a positive outlook, which helps me push myself and drive to a better future for myself and the family.
But did you have, you're talking, and for me, it's when you said I went distant from my family, did you go distant because you didn't know how to get the support, or you just felt that this is something you have to get through on your own, or they wouldn't understand?
No, it was just more, honestly, it wasn't about the support from the family. I have a very supportive system.
And friends or family.
Family. No, everyone around me, as soon as you know that you're expecting, obviously, they're happy. And this is something I love as well. But it was just Mazen and Mazen inside, if that makes sense. Yeah, it was just an internal struggle where, yeah, like at some point in time in my life, I was always saying, I don't want kids. And I was, even when I was younger, I was saying I don't want to even get married. And of course, naturally, things change. You meet the right person, things develop, and it's a natural reaction if God wants it, that you have children. And for the first 5 years of our marriage, we had no kids. And when I had Gigi, it just made me, maybe distant is the wrong word, but it made me think of things I never thought of, and I just did not want to let anybody down. And that's how I felt. I was running away from the problem. I was not talking about it with my wife. I'm not talking about it with my family. And then I realized that I am going through some kind of depression. And becoming aware about an issue like this was key to me. So I became aware. I started, thinking about it more loudly, if you want, talking about it, which helped me a lot. I mean, until, of course, Gigi came to this life.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. It's not easy for anyone to come and say, yes, I did go through some depression before being a parent or after being a parent. Do you have now, were you able to build, because moms have it everywhere, Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, everywhere, community supporting moms. Do you have that as a dad?
I don't think I ever heard of it. I mean, I was once looking at some, not groups, but social media influencers that are, especially in the Arab world, that talk about fatherhood. And funny enough, I could not find any. I might be wrong.
But start one, Mazen.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but honestly, I was looking forward to follow someone in the Arab world that talks about fatherhood, some of the issues, what needs to be done, what's right, what's wrong, and or just from their
Yeah,
experience. And I couldn't find it. So no, there aren't any groups like I know how it is with moms, and it's an interesting one. And this just shows you how the weight gravitate more towards women, especially in our region when it comes to parenting, and men do need help.
absolutely. Absolutely. I've had a lot of discussions, and not discussions, conversations with men when either they became single dads or they became new dads or they became divorced dads. So it's so sad to hear their stories and the things that they go through in silence. And
Yeah.
almost all of them agree that we don't have that. And a support group, support people, nothing. They ask about you for a few days and then خلاص يعني life moves
Yeah.
on. I do believe someone has to start a group. يعني,
Yeah.
I don't know. Um,
But maybe is this more cultural? I mean, sorry to cut you off here, but is it more cultural from your experience? Do you think it's just that men in our region specifically want to be men about it?
yeah, it is cultural. And no, when I have those conversations, people or men from Europe or from India have it differently than men in the Middle East. So men in the Middle East, listen, I'm not going to say to anyone that I'm talking to you, please don't share anything about what I just
Yeah.
said to you. I was like, but you have to mention something at some point. No, I don't want to. I don't know what my wife would think if she knew I was going through all of that. What would my son think of me? So we still have this, I don't want to say stigma, but this ice block that
Yes,
is
yes.
keeping men and society in between.
Yeah.
So men they want help. So it's different than before. Yani, whether it was dads or not dads, they do need the help. And they say, yes, I need help. But who's gonna help? No one cares. And the society,
Yeah.
unfortunately, they prove them right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I agree. Yeah. It's
Things happen.
interesting. I mean, yeah, a lot of men need help because honestly, everyone can be a father or a mother, like, but not everyone can be a dad
Oof,
or a
absolutely.
mom. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and of course, when I think of my experience, I want to try to be the best dad virgin I can be for my family.
Yeah.
And normally, when you want to seek help, you go to groups, you read stuff, you watch videos, and it's interesting that there aren't any, like zero content, especially in the Arab world, about this for men specifically.
What am I doing?
I know, but I'm talking about
I
the
know, I
group.
know, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what you're doing is amazing, and I have so much respect for that. But there should be an open platform for anyone to just
Absolutely.
join something and just maybe ask a question. I don't want to ask my mom or my brother or my
No, you don't.
friend. So
Hopefully, I mean,
interesting.
it's a very interesting topic. And now, because I do know that once you put something in your mind, you find it. And the fact that you couldn't find something for supporting dads or supporting new dads is really, really upsetting.
Yeah,
Do you
absolutely.
think fathers have it now easier than before the generation, or it's more difficult, or it's different?
Um, I think it's changing a lot, and especially I'm going to talk about my experience and of course what I see around me. But I just feel like, and something I keep reminding myself of is that our kids did not decide to come to this world.
Hmm.
We decided to get them. And if I compare like previous generations or my parents, for example, with what's happening today, it's like the previous generations think that their kids owe them something.
Oof.
I'm your father, I'm your mom, you have to listen to me, you have to do this. Yeah.
I know
And
what's
this is
good for you.
yeah, exactly. And this is changing a lot. So I keep on reminding myself is that Mazen, you decided to bring in this beautiful girl to this beautiful world. You just you're gonna help her grow, whether it's physically, emotionally, psychologically, to have the best future that she is going to have. She owes me nothing. And this is what something I keep on reminding myself, because I used to see it from our parents, and I just did not like it back then, and now I'm just more aware, and this changed a lot. So I don't know if it is better or worse, like to answer your question, but I think
There's
this
no
is the
right
main.
or wrong. There's just times are changing. And the fact that we had to go through so many things because of our parents' decisions, it wasn't easy. So why not try new approaches, right?
Absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. Of course, I respect and support and listen to my parents, but it's just that I don't want to have that assertive personality on my child. I want to be just a platform to help her grow and support her to get and be whatever she wants. And I wish my parents were like that. I have a supportive family. Again, don't get me wrong, but it was just more.
No,
It
I
was
get
always
it.
hierarchical.
Yeah,
You've got a parent and you've got a child. You have to listen to me every single time. And that's something that definitely changed and I am adopting.
I get it. No, thank you. Thank you for doing that. But let's speak about you and Gigi. I know that you're
Mhm.
someone who loves rituals. What is your favorite ritual to do with Gigi?
Okay, my favorite ritual is probably our Sunday morning's breakfast.
Okay.
So every Sunday morning, just we go for breakfast. We have coffee. She loves her baby chino now. She sees me always drinking my cappuccino. See, I'm about to start crying now thinking about it, but it's just a beautiful moment for me because during the week I make sure I spend time with her, but it's just half an hour in the morning and then probably an hour in the evening before her sleep time, and by the time I finish work, because I'm working from the office these days. So the weekend for me is really where we spend a lot of time. So there are two things that I love doing and that we've been doing for the past year is that Sunday morning's breakfast. I have my cappuccino, as I said. We get her a baby chino as well, and she knows now. She's like, Didi coffee, and it's
Like
just
daughter,
a lot of
like father, like daughter.
yeah. And we're just sitting there, and I just realized sometimes I'm in a busy place, and this is the moment where I'm just 100% focused with her. Like I don't play with my phone. I don't talk to anybody. It's just me and
Undivided.
her. We're blabbing about nothing, and I'm just having so much fun. That's a ritual that I really really love.
All right. I love that.
And the
I
second
love
one, yeah,
rituals. And for me, I love rituals. I love the fact that there's this quality time between the dad and the daughter that no one gets inside it. خلاص, this is a special
absolutely,
moment for us. طب
absolutely.
let's travel. أنا وأنت, let's travel together. Let's assume that Gigi is now 18 years old and she's watching this episode. What would you tell her?
I love her so much. Uh, what I would tell her is that for those past 18 years, I've been working not hard, but I've been trying to build the perfect platform for her to grow, and I hope she learned a thing or two from life and not just from her father. And all I want her to do is maybe just think of the right things, do the right things on her own, and just let life roll basically, and whatever happens, and she doesn't have to be too tough on herself. That's what I would tell her. I think like in our region as well, there's always pressure about what do you want to do next, what do you want to be, what are you going to study, when are you going to get married, when are you going to get kids, and that's unnecessary pressure in my opinion. So if I'm going to tell her anything at 18 now to prepare her for the real world, I'm going to say just live it the way you want. Do you know what's right, you know what's wrong, try to make the right decisions. You will do sometimes bad mistakes. That's not a problem, but now is the time to really move and grow and just, welcome the real world.
I can feel
That's
you
what,
getting emotional while you're saying that.
yeah. Yeah, because I can't imagine that she's 18 now. You just caught me off guard. Yeah.
Well, Mazen, happy Father's Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anything else you would like to add for men, especially new dads listening to this?
Yeah, there's a question that I always get asked, especially from some women, like our friends. They're like, Mazen, how many diapers have you changed? and and this is a question that gets on my nerves because, in my opinion, it is not about how many diapers I change and how many diapers my wife changes. It's not a competition. We complete each other. And one thing I would always like to tell men is to think of equal parenting. So I am good at certain things and I suck at certain things. And the same applies to every person in this world. So I don't have to count the number of diapers to show my equal parenting. If I'm good at certain things, what I want to do is I want to focus on that. And that's maybe my good part. And the same applies to my partner. So let's think of how can we be equally parenting when it comes to being invested, like in the parenting, whether it's time, effort, love, care, diapers, taking them to school and all of that. So as long as you're equally parenting, it's something I love. A lot of times I see guys here in the region where, they will be proud about not being part of parenting. And this is something that really bothers me. It's like, how can you? That's your child. Yes, maybe I don't like to do certain things, but I will make sure that I will put extra effort in other things. So that's my message. And if we're talking about diapers, I have a funny story that maybe we want to close off with, Rahaf. I remember I once took Gigi to the swimming class. She every Saturday she has swimming class. And I was on my own with her.
Okay.
And you have those diapers that are for the swimming pool and the regular diapers. So I'm not great at changing diapers. Okay, I've done it a couple of times, but I'm not great at it. But there at the pool, I had to change from the regular diaper to the swimming pool diaper, and then back from swimming pool diaper to the regular diaper. And I put her on the tanning bed. I remember I started changing, and I thought, I was doing a great job. Until a sweet lady walked up to me and she's like, I'm really sorry, but do you need help? I was like, why? Do I look that I really suck at changing diapers? She's like, yeah, I see that you're struggling. So, and that was just a funny story to me that I always remember when I talk about diapers.
Oh my goodness. But that's an amazing point to highlight. So thank you so much for bringing that up. I think I'm in no position to give any opinion, any idea about parenting. But what I would say, it would be maybe reasonable or logical is equal parenting in a way that exactly what you just said. I am good in those things, so I'm going to be focusing on that. I'm not really good, but my partner is. So it's a complementary, it's a teamwork. Exactly. I love that.
Exactly.
I love
Absolutely,
that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mazen.
Thank you.
Lots of kisses to Gigi, and yeah, you're doing an amazing
job. You are doing an amazing job. I don't think I am doing an amazing job yet. I learn, and of course
you are. Where is self-care and self-love? You are. Every day we get better.
Yeah, of course. And that's what I like. Like every day you get better, every day you learn something. And this is what I'm really enjoying. I'm enjoying this journey. I enjoy seeing Gigi grow, and it's just beautiful. I mean, I don't know how I was saying before that I never wanted to have kids, but now this is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Honestly, things happen when you're ready for them.
Yeah, true. I think you're never ready, but once you have it, you'll become ready.
Yeah, that's a much better way to put it.
Yes. Yeah.
Mazen, thank you again. And
thank you.
Until the next episode, I'll see you guys. If you liked this episode and conversation with Mazen, please do share it with your friends and family. And I'll see you in the next one.